Very good morning, students. Today we are going to study the second lesson, that is people as resources. People as resources. Already we said in first chapter itself. It is continuation of the first chapter. This is the fourth factors of production, that is human capital. Human capital, and this is same people as resources. In this chapter we want to study um, how we can make the human being as a resource. In that we as very clearly it is given, investment in human capital yield a return just like investment in physical capital. And investment in human capital that we can see with through education, training, and medical care. So the core part of the lesson, that is about how we can increase the human resource, or how we can make people as resources through education, training, and medical care. And we can see the first part of the lesson. They are explaining, they are discussing what it is. And can we see that one like a labor or land, or is it like a money or rupees or something? And the boy is saying it is more than that, it is more than that, both the time he is saying. And we can see what happened in green revolution here in India's green revolution is the drastic example of how input of greater knowledge in the form of improved production technologies, because the human being, they are becoming more resourceful through to use technologies. And because of that one, now we are producing more. And another one thinking, we know the IT sector of India, that we have seen already in 8th standard, how much we are using nowadays the IT sector. And the different the IT sector. With the help of IT sector, we are using even machineries in the factory. That's why we can say human capital is better than, or the more than that what we are using the first three factors of production: land, and second one labor, and third one physical capital. More than that, what we are using, that is human capital. Then we can see that one, it is through education. If we are educating the person, as well as we are keeping the person as healthier, then we will get better income or higher income. And with that, the knowingly or unknowingly, the progress of the society, it is coming. And the people, those who are in disadvantaged and disadvantaged group, they won't think about proper education or for proper health, so they won't get that much development in the society. And saying here in the paragraph, human capital, it is a superior than any other capital, because other capitals like a land or capital, they are not at all useful when it is there. If human being is there to make use other capitals, that time other factors of production, that time only they themselves will become useful. So we can say that one, human capital is superior than the other capitals, because if the land or physical capital one should be it become useful when human power, it is working with it. And we was thinking like that in India, population is a liability. And because we are having many problems we are facing, because of that, many problems we are facing, like food problem, then we don't have enough food, then job problems, problems we are facing, like these things. That's why we used to say population, it is a normally it is liability. But when we are giving education and training, that time the population, it is not a liability. Instead of that, it is becoming the productive asset, or productive asset. Human capital becoming productive asset by for the industrial purpose or technological purpose, for different purpose. And in textbook we can see two stories. One is the story of Sakal, and another one the story of Vilas. Two boys from the same village, how they are becoming. One person is going to, becoming a resource, human capital. Another one person going, becoming liability in the country. And Sakal, his parents, they are thinking like that they want to teach him for higher studies. First they sent his child to the government school for primary education. Afterwards, after examination, and he's going for her higher studies, that their parents can't send for a graduation, post graduation, so they are sending for a vocational course in computer. Then after that, the parent, they taken loan and sent him for study, and very enthusiastically he studied and he got a good mark. Afterwards he went and joined in a private he went and joined in a private firm, and he done some good thing for the firm. And that he developed some of the software. He designed some of the new kind of software that is recognized by his own owner, and he got a reward with the promotion. If there is promotion, he will get a surely he will get better salary. Then we will move to the story of next boy, that is Vilas. He also from the same village. His father was a fisherman, and he became sick and he died when he was 2 years old. And his mother also continued the same job, the fishing selling. Then she used to get 150 rupees, means that is not enough for the family members. And then she also becomes sick, and there is no chance to go to hospital because she can't afford that one. Even the boy is a sick child, so they can't afford the doctor. Then the even though he was sick and he is looking after his younger brothers, and when mother becomes sick, and he himself went for the same work to get money for to support his family, and he is getting very less income because he is not educated, or he don't know how to do the business properly. So what is here we are going to think the difference between the two friends. How one person becoming a resource and one person becoming liability, that we are going to see. Once again, in first story, Sakal becoming a resource. How? Through education. Through education plus skill training. So, if you want to become resourceful in the society, or if you want to become asset in the society, we should get education or skill training. Then we should get the better health facility. So, with the help of these three things, we can make the people as a resource or asset in the country. And if we are not getting these chances, we can see that one we are going to become a liability, because the person is not at all educated, or he is not thinking about his own health or his family's health. Then he is not getting any training or any skill development. So by that time, if those who don't have this facility, that people they are going to become the liability in the country. Then we can see next topic, it is the explanation of these two boys, how they are, that we can see education, schooling, then healthy, like that things, the same explanation what we discussed now. And come to the next part, the last part. Some of the countries, even though they don't have enough natural resources, they are thinking about the human resource development, and with that they are becoming very rich country or developed country in the world. One of the example, that is Japan. Japan is thinking about the human resource development. In that, very carefully they are thinking about education, health. Then they are thinking about that very nutritious food, hygiene, and like that things. If we are keeping all these things very clearly, with giving to the people, then people will become the resource. By that we can become the asset, or we can create maximum assets, human capital here in any country. Then we are going to see economic activities by men and women. What is economic activities that is there in the textbook? Let's see that one. What is economic activities? We already studied in 8th standard primary activities, secondary activities, tertiary activities. Primary sector that includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry, etc. Even mining like that. Primary activities where we are getting the acting the primary, we are collecting the raw materials. Then secondary activity that we know, trade, transportation, communication, banking, education, health, tourism, services, insurance, etc. Where we are making the primary raw material to the finished product, that sector is known as secondary sector. And we know what is tertiary sector. We know tertiary sector also. The activities, what we are using the services, goods and service sector, that is known as sorry the banking, transportation, communication, these are the examples. Tertiary sector, that is services. With the help of these services, we are producing maximum goods. And secondary activity that we know already, we are making the finished product with the help of primary products what are available in the society. Then altogether we can say these are the economic activities. These are the economic activities. And in economical activities, the activities which is adding the value to the national income, which the activities are helping to improve the national income, that is known as economical activities. Again, economic activity we can divide into two: market activities and non-market activities. And market activities involving um, remuneration. Remuneration means the when we have those who are doing some activity, they are working for the payment or profit. In market activity, directly it is related to payment or profit. And in that we know the goods and service, even government services also included in the market activity. Then non-market activities are the production for self-consumption, for our own use, what we are producing, that is known as non-market activities. Your mother is cooking in the kitchen, like that activities are known as um, uh, non-market activities. And there is different reasons. Then given one activity, visit a village or colony located near your residence or residential area. Note down various activities undertaken by the people that village or colony. If it is possible, ask your neighbor that what is their profession, and which of means we want to conduct a small field visit and want to understand the primary activity those who are working, and secondary activity as well as tertiary activity people. Then the last part they are selling that say whether these activities are economical or are non, which activities profession they are doing, that activities are economical activities or non economic activities. Then here we are going to think the topic name was the activities, economic activities of men and women. And there are different reasons for the division of labor according to gender. According to gender, especially inside the family, or with when we are thinking about in the context of family. The reasons are like that we can say historical reasons are there, cultural reasons are there. We'll continue in next video.